It's time to go beyond the headlines, cause I don't put in overtime just so I can headline. Okay, now it's Fox Sports, I'm live with Renee. Going hard every day, sports rapping every play. Different segments for your favorites, coming at you daily with positive vibes, yeah, we some game changers. Basketball, football, soccer, with different interviews, you never know who may pop up. Listen, only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.
It's time for our positive vibes only segment here on Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington. Joining me this week, we have Paul Lamar Hunter. He's an author, and he's also one of 21 children, the 19th of 21, and the first of his family to graduate from college. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me on, and I am excited to be on your show.
Thank you. I have so many questions, I don't even know where to begin. So let's go back to your childhood. You have 20 siblings, and they're all full siblings, no halves or step siblings.
All full siblings. My mother birthed 21 natural children by my father. So if you will do the math and break it down, you will discover that my mom stayed pregnant for 15 years, 9 months. So as of today, there are 17 children living today, 63 grandchildren, and 87 great-grandchildren.
Wow. So I have to ask, and I'm sorry, but how young was your mom when she first started having kids? Because, I can only imagine having so many kids and actually being pregnant for, as you mentioned, 15 years and going through labor 21 times. How young was she when she started having children?
When my mom started having kids, she was 17 and a half years old. She started having kids. She was born in the South in Vicksburg, Mississippi. So, back then that was the norm for people to have huge families.
Absolutely. That was definitely the normal age. So take me through your childhood growing up in such a large family. And I know you did, unfortunately, have some rough childhood experiences. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Well, my first 7 years was great because my mom and dad was both in the house. My dad was working 2 jobs. My mom worked a part-time job. But, in that 7th year, we dealt with back-to-back deaths in our family. So in 1976, my brother Thomas died in a house fire. Then that following year, in 1977, my father died in a car crash. So it sent a shockwave through the Hunter family. And so my mother had to become the commander-in-chief, and also a lot of my siblings had to forego their education because they had to stay at home with the young ones, and that's including they had to watch over us, made sure that that we went off to school, and also when we got home that they had dinner prepared for us. So, I give a lot of credit to a lot of my siblings, but, they had to make a sacrifice for us.
And, you hit on a couple things that really stand out to me, and I know you were the first of your siblings to graduate from college. Something that really stands out is during that time, that was very normal. Unfortunately, you did have 2 tragedies, losing your brother and your father in such a close amount of time, forcing you guys to make that move earlier. But when I think about a lot of my own relatives and even families that I know, it was a lot of people were sacrificing their own education to work at a young age and to provide at a young age. So it wasn't, nowadays I think a lot more people are, more on the education track of the typical, you go to high school, then college, then maybe even get your master's. But at that time, that wasn't the norm, even, specifically within Black families, to have a lot of people that went off to college or even finished high school. So that is, a huge testament to your siblings and your mother for having to step up and provide so much for such a large family. Were you guys very close growing up? a lot of childhood games and fun, memories of holidays and things like that?
Yeah. See, one of the things that we used to do, we used to love to play kickball in the backyard. We used to love to play football. Also, we loved to put together puzzles. So we did a lot of activities inside and outside of our home. And in the community, Racine, Wisconsin, where I was born and raised, they were very good to the Hunter family. There were times when we did not have any Christmas gifts, but the community would let people, unexpected people in the community would come and knock on the door and then leave, but they would leave gifts at the door for us, and that could be the front door or the back door. So the community, Racine, Wisconsin, was very good to the Hunter family when we were going through our trials and tribulations.
Yeah, and I can only imagine it does take a village when you have such a large family, especially, with a single-parent household. So growing up, you did deal with poverty, and you did deal with, a lot of adversity and challenges. What was there a time where it really felt like your mom was able to get on her feet and maybe you guys were able to, have a better support system, better, more things provided for you within the household? Or was it, from the moment or from after your dad's passing and your brother's passing, it was just a struggle from there on moving forward?
It was a struggle after my dad had passed away. It really was a struggle. Because my dad worked 2 jobs. He worked 16 hours a day. And, I think on the weekend he had time to play with my mom, if you know what I'm talking about. So,
we didn't have to, with 21 kids, there was some time being made.
After he had passed away, that's when things had went downhill. But let me say this. I am blessed. I don't have no regrets the way I was raised, because it made me the person that I am today, a very humble person. So there's no regrets. And if you ask any of my siblings, they will say the exact same thing, that there's no regrets. It made us a very close family. We still talk together, on the telephone, on social media. We communicate. I was out in last year. I was out in Los Angeles, California, and we did Vivica A. Fox show, Face the Truth, and they flew us out there, some of my siblings and myself, and we did her show, Face the Truth, and my siblings will tell you, hey, there's no regrets. We were family, and that means that a family is going to have functional, good times, and dysfunctional, bad times. But that's the way it is. But we get over those dysfunctional moments because the love that we have for each other. Wow.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you talk about family, that it's not perfect. Family's never perfect. There will be moments of, where you guys aren't getting along or whatever it may be. But you have what sounds like a very strong family and loving family around you. So you talk about having no regrets. You've been on the Vivica Fox's show, Face the Truth, and that's a huge testament to the fact that you're an author. You wrote an autobiography. So let's get into your autobiography, No Love, No Charity, The Success of the 19th Child, and what that book is all about.
Well, No Love, No Charity, The Success of the 19th Child, it deals with my life. It chronicles my life, my interaction with my siblings, with my mom, and also with my dad as well, because like I indicated, I only had 8 years with my dad, and those were the best years. But my book it's a parenting book. It's an inspirational book. It's a guide that will help parents to become better parents. The reason why I wrote the book is because there's an author named Dr. Dennis James Woods, he wrote my mom's book, which is Love and Charity, the life story of Louise Hunter in the Love and Charity Homeless Shelter. Because, see, my mother made history in the state of Wisconsin because she started the first homeless shelter in the city of Racine, Wisconsin. So she was able to become a great humanitarian and also work with the disenfranchised people in the community.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
that was why I wrote the book, to give people detailed information into the life of the Hunter children, to let them know that, yes, we just an ordinary family. We're going to have good times and we're going to have bad times, but we are an ordinary family, and that we're going to have, like I stated, our good times and our bad times.
So I love the way you titled your book then, because it's a play off of your mom's book, kind of in the wording of it.
Yes, it is, and I have to say this: both books, Love and Charity, the life story of Louise Hunter, written by Dr. Dennis James Woods, and No Love, No Charity, the success of the 19th child, written by me. Both books, have been adapted into a screenplay. So I am thrilled. I never imagined in my life that my mom's book and my book will be adapted into a screenplay.
Wow. So then I have to ask, if you had, because people always, jokingly say, I want so and so to play me in a movie about me. If you had to pick one actor to play you, who would it be? I'm putting you on the spot.
Well, I think a good guy that would play me. He played in Finding Forrester. I don't know if you remember that movie, Finding Forrester.
Oh, yeah.
I can't recall the young black man's name, but he was a very good actor. And a person that would really play my mom, I have to say this, is Cicely Tyson and Vivica A.
Okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
And they fit kind of her personality.
Yes, her personality. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh, that would be so cool. Well, I'm excited to hear that, this is really only just the beginning for you. You're doing a lot more great things. Your book is just kind of like the beginning of this next step for you, a next chapter in your life. And, you are an author, but your story extends way beyond the words in your autobiography. So, what's kind of, you talk about the book being made into a screenplay. What's been the next step for you, as a writer and as a family man and as someone that's trying to help, other parents and their families to be better mothers or fathers or spouses? What's next for you?
Well, basically what I have been doing is I try to get out once or twice out of the month. I try to leave and go to a different state and speak at the Boys and Girls Club. And I just left Hawaii last week. I was in Hawaii, and I spoke to over 200 children at the Boys and Girls Club in Hawaii. And I talk about the art of success. And I wanted the kids to know that if they want to master the art of success, that they have to have ambition, vision, and discipline. And so I was able to talk about my life and how I applied those three elements into my life. And I wanted them to duplicate what I did in my life by applying ambition, vision, and discipline into their life if they want to become successful. So after I got done speaking, a lot of the kids came up to me because they had a lot of questions, because the mom did not graduate from high school. The dad, only has a GED, and the mom and dad doesn't build them up. And I had to inform them, you have sometime what you have to do. You have to build yourself up. You have to encourage yourself. And I had to do that for myself because, I came from a big family, but you know what, baby? I had low self-esteem. I thought I was ugly. I thought I was dumb. I couldn't write. But you know what? Every morning when I got up, I used to go run into the bathroom, look in the mirror, and say, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, I'm smart, I'm a writer, I can articulate. So I wanted them to build themselves up. And it was great speaking to those young men and women, just pouring encouragement and positive words into their life.
Wow, that is incredible. That's very incredible. Now, where can our listeners find you on social media and just find more information?
For more information, you can go to my website, paullamarhunter.com. Also, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. And if people want to get a copy of my mother's book, Love and Charity, the life story of Louise Hunter, and No Love, No Charity, the success of the 19th child, both books are at Barnes & Noble's and Amazon.com website. And it's also available on Apple and iTunes as well.
Wow. Thank you so much, Paul. I really look forward to seeing what's next for your story and seeing it become a screenplay and hopefully even getting a chance to see it myself.
But
I really do enjoy you joining us on our Positive Vibes Only segment this week because you do have a tremendous, story in what you've overcome and really what you're doing now to help encourage and inspire others, whether they're kids or adults. So thank you so much.
Hey, thank you for having me on, and God bless.